Hey everybody, Motorpoet59 here. Remember when Barack Obama was elected in 2008? He rolled through the inauguration in 2009 and did a few things, but one of the first things he did that involved the entire nation was instill fear in Americans over the H1N1 virus. Uh, I think that there were, at that time, 15 or 20,000 cases in the United States, and it's a virus that had been around since the 20s, and he still tried to jack up that fear in America, called it a pandemic, and he continued to attempt to, and for the most part, be successful with the low intelligence, low information Democrat voters to instill fear. And the next thing was climate change. He carried on the fear of nuclear energy. The Democrats live on fear. It's the only thing they have. They have nothing positive to say. They're doing nothing positive. Even Obamacare was built on fear. The whole thing was built on fear. And like I said, it's gone from the H1N1 through climate change, nuclear energy, and now the variants that they're starting to name with Greek letters. They've already been wrong about the Delta variant, about how it was going to affect people. They say, we were just talking about it today, and evidently they think that it's already peaked. So, I don't know. Are people getting sick from it? Sure, I'm sure they are. Are some people dying from it? I'm sure they are, just like it was with the original COVID-19 that almost killed me. Is it worth shutting down the economies again? No, it's not. It wasn't worth shutting down the economies before. They shut down all these economies. They locked everybody down. They made everybody stay home. They made everybody wear masks. And it still did what it was going to do. I don't know what well, of course, there's no final count, but I don't know when it peaked. I don't know how many people got sick. It's like I said in one of my recovery videos. Once you've been as sick as I have, those numbers really don't mean anything from either side. It doesn't matter who's right and who's wrong. Either it happens or it doesn't. But the Democrats want you to fear that. When these variants run their course, and which they will, no matter what we do, they'll run their course. People will get sick, people will die, it'll peak, and when it starts to go down and they run out of viruses and diseases to frighten us with, it's going to go right back to climate change. That's right, right back to climate change. Greta Thunberg will be a grown woman, and nobody's going to care about what she has to say anymore. I never did care about what she had to say, but she won't be a cute little teenager saying, "How dare you?" I thought I'd throw up every time I saw that. So they'll find somebody else. They'll kick her to the curb, just like the Democrats do everyone, and they will drag climate change back up out of their little bag of tricks and start trying to frighten Americans with it again. We have to stop living in fear. You have to stop listening to the Democrats, because all they're trying to do is scare you. They're trying to cause you to make decisions based on fear rather than on logic, rather than on reality. They just want you to be afraid. They want you to be emotional, and they want you to base all your decisions and cast all your votes based on that. And when you're doing that, you're not thinking. When you're living in fear, you're living without logic. You're living without linear thought. All you can think about is yourself and right now, or maybe your family, but you're not thinking about the bigger picture. All you're doing is being selfish, and the Democrats want you to be selfish. They want you to be afraid, so you'll continue to vote for them so they can come to the rescue, ostensibly, of anything that goes wrong, when over the last 50 years they've come to the rescue for nothing. There's nothing that the Democrats have fixed in the last 50 years in the United States, and certainly not in California. And during the fires last year, Gavin Newsom climbed out there in front of a burned up town and blamed it on climate change in the middle of the pandemic. So he was doing the double whammy. trying to scare you into believing that these fires were somehow connected to climate change, which is absolutely ridiculous. There isn't a forest management service in the United States of America, and certainly not in California, who believes that for a second. Everyone knows that piss poor forest management was the cause of those fires becoming so severe. And I could go on about that, but I won't. Just stop living in fear. Stop listening to Democrats. If you are a conservative and a Republican or a libertarian or what, even an independent, you need to get this message out too. You need to get this message out to your liberal friends or your liberal acquaintances, or somewhere where liberals can hear it. I put this on YouTube because you never know who might hear it. Not very many people watch my channel, but it helps me get it off my chest, and I hope that anybody that watches this spreads it out a little further so the word gets out. Stop living in fear. We are Americans. We are the most courageous country on the face of the planet. Well, maybe with the exception of Israel. There's no reason for us to be afraid. Remember when FDR, who was a Democrat and the closest thing to a dictator the United States of America ever had, and even he said the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. And that was in the face of all kinds of problems, the Depression, the looming World War. There were all kinds of things going on, and he still told Americans not to be afraid. We have no Democrats preaching that message today. They're only preaching fear, and it really needs to stop. What do you think? What do you think about all this preaching fear of the Democrats? Let me know in the comments below. Shoot me an email at motopoet59@gmail.com. Like, share, subscribe, click on the bell if you want to be notified of future content. We'll see you all later.